During the last 3 years, we've encountered a new disease of onion in Colorado and actually in most states in the western United States. This is a virus disease. It's known as iris yellow spot virus, transmitted by various species of thrips to plants, especially onions that are stressed by abiotic factors like high temperature or moisture shortages or fertility shortages as well. But I'd like to show you a few of the symptoms that we've associated with this virus disease and some of the impacts that it's causing on onion plants. I have a plant here that is showing some of the foliar symptoms. You'll see some white spots. They're linear lesions that develop up and down the leaves, and these can become quite serious and coalesce, causing a lot of the leaf to die back. But for example, on this leaf, you can see these spots that are forming up and down this leaf. The tip has died. It's now turned kind of a tan color, but earlier this would have been more of a whitish color. So the color, the nature of the lesions as they're scattered up this leaf, and now moving into neighboring leaves. For example, on this plant, we can see some lesions as well. Here's some other streaks on this leaf. You can see a few lesions that are developing along with that ladybug. Let me grab another plant that shows some of the symptoms maybe more dramatically. But here you can see along the edge of this older leaf, we have kind of a streak, the whitish to light tan streak going along this side of the leaf and this side, almost like a green chevron symptom that's left in the center of that leaf. Again, here's some of the small whitish spots. Another symptom that we often see will be the lesions will start out very small, kind of linear or to elliptical in length and shape, but a number of them scattered up and down that leaf. And then with age, they do become larger, as shown on this leaf, and they tend to be a little more oblong in their length. Again, severe infection and additional stress on an onion plant will cause a lot of the top growth to die back fairly rapidly. And with a lot of stress from high temperature, lack of moisture, we can see large areas of a field that will show the disease. And some of our commercial fields, we've had anywhere from 25 to 50% of the onions that have shown the foliar symptoms of the whiting and basically dieback of all the top growth, again prematurely. Now, the main effect of this virus on the onion plant appears to be a reduction in bulb size, so that in many fields we've seen up to a 40% reduction in the amount of tonnage or onions produced per acre, especially of the larger sizes of the onion that are more preferred in the market. So we've seen at least a 40% reduction in jumbo onions, for example, reducing those to maybe medium onions due to lack of vigor and loss of leaf area due to the virus. From a management perspective, since this is an insect-transmitted virus, the challenges are very difficult. We need to study ways to try to reduce thrips pressure on varieties. We also are looking at trying to identify varieties of onions that are more resistant or tolerant to the virus, and there are some options there. From an IPM approach, we're trying to reduce refugia, or sites where the thrips can overwinter, such as in weed host possibly, and certainly on volunteer onions, or onions that were left in the field from the previous year. We have verified that in the spring, those volunteer onions can harbor and show the virus, and then thrips could feed on those diseased plants and move it into the new crop of onions. So again, we're trying to find ways to reduce these ecological sites where thrips can overwinter, build up, and cause problems on susceptible varieties of onion. We have no chemical controls at this time to reduce the virus loss, although we're looking at some new approaches, such as systemic acquired resistance inducers that can be applied before the disease hits to try to help the plants build up their natural defense mechanisms against pathogens and problems such as the virus and against thrips. So those new alternatives offer some hope that we might be able to reduce the impact of this disease, which can reduce productivity of onions in an area by millions of dollars in each state.